Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the Saturn in Sagittarius transit for 2014 to near pretty much close to the very end of 2017. Now, Saturn will enter Sagittarius on December 23rd, 2014, and it will stay there until December 20th, 2017, except for a short stint when it goes retrograde in Scorpio for a little bit. For the majority of the period, it will be in there, so you're looking at nearly 3 years of Saturn in Sagittarius. Now, I look in this period for collective controlled enthusiasm, perhaps, during this transit. I think sports may take on a more business-like flavoring during this time. More businesses, maybe related to sports, will begin to emerge. Philosophy, higher education, long-distance traveling, religion, sports may take on more serious than usual, I guess, flavoring during this transit. People, I think we're going to see more judicious and more pragmatism, practicality connected with these things. People may feel compelled to expand their horizons, but do so in a methodical and cautious and prudent manner. We're already seeing some stronger disciplinary action on athletes, and I don't know how many of you follow the National Football League in the United States, but I'm sure many of you heard about what's been going on with Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. And he's apparently he has been suspended for the duration of the football season, and it's pending an appeal now, and the appeal is going to be next month. But this is over some child neglect or abuse thing or something, and this is, it's obviously, it seems like there's already more stern punishment being given to athletes, and and it's being very enforced, and I think it might be kind of a harbinger and omen of things to come for when Saturn officially enters Sagittarius next month. Now, it will go retrograde in Scorpio from June 15th, 2015 to August 2nd, 2015. Then it goes direct, and then it returns to Sagittarius on September 18th, 2015. So you're going to have a little period, you're going to, for about maybe around approximately 3 months, where it will be in Scorpio, but the rest of the duration, it will be in Sagittarius. Now, you're also going to have more people, I believe, consulting travel agents than usual. More flights and traveling will be done with a lot more premeditation and planning ahead than usual. And I see a lot more caution connected with this. I saw something online where somebody had stated and speculated that maybe we might see a stock market crash toward the end of the period, which would be in 2017, which maybe could happen because we had something I believe in 1987, which was in the tail end of the Saturn and Sagittarius period. So maybe something will happen again. I hope it doesn't happen in this case. And for part of this period, Saturn and Sagittarius will be squaring Neptune in Pisces, and during that time, you might see some battle between, I guess you could say, conventional, traditional religion versus perhaps maybe fallacious prophets or false prophets during that period. And those people, perhaps, that are practicing maybe in what others' opinion might be the wrong religion, or the people that are pretending maybe to be spiritual or religious for their own for some other reason, just to gain maybe something else, they will most likely, I believe, be exposed during this period. Now, the thing about this is that this can be a period where you might see maybe things connected with higher education. Maybe there'll be, I won't say there's going to be a complete halt to it. I think we're going to have colleges and universities abound for a very extensive period for, as of that point and on. But I think you might see less people maybe emphasizing college as a way to get credentials for a particular field or vocation. You might see more, maybe it'll be more like online type education as opposed to going to universities. Maybe, I don't want to sound too cynical or skeptical, but perhaps maybe the credentials to going to college might be greater, and it might be tougher to get maybe those scholarships. And because Saturn is the planet of restriction and limitation, and Sagittarius is associated with the higher learning. And also, I think when you look at it's interesting. I was talking about the sports before, and how there seems to be strong disciplinary action on Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. Well, a lot of you know that follow the NFL and even in basketball, the NBA, that it seems like as far as like fouls go in the NBA, it seems like the referees are tougher. The rules seem to be more stringent and rigid than usual. And the same with football. It's harder to play that physical, aggressive style of play, and people in authority over these sports are the ones, of course, responsible for it. So I think you're going to see more, even increased, if you can imagine that, increased authority in terms of people over major sports setting certain rules and really making a lot more stipulations and taking more charge over professional athletes. So I think that's something that we're going to see during this period as well. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Saturn transiting Sagittarius from 2014 to 2017. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be continuing this, and I'll be talking about how the Saturn in Sagittarius transit will impact the signs Aries through Virgo. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person, astrologically, is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.